And here we are, to the final part of the first round, the first month, the end part of our basic loop here, when we rank the items we did. I have no clue who is we because only I am doing this, but anyway, yeah, I certainly did all of these over the last few days. Took 2 days and one more to sleep on it, so yeah, it is ready now to rank everything we did. Of course, I did. As you can see, I have some kind of special names of ranks here for the tier list. I think somewhere here the more of infection rank started and they blend into civilization difficulty, like deity. I don't really know, but yeah, this is what I generally use all the time pretty much, so expect to see this a lot. Well, let's begin. Our first item, released on 28th of January, is the Black Sabbath featuring Tommy Iommi. Oh my god, did you know they worked together? What a shock. Iommi basically founded the band, by the way, if you didn't know. So this kind of artist name, what kind of marketing ploy they went for, it's really R-worded. But enough about that. How does it sound? It's somewhere in line with the expectation of quality I had for it. Pretty much enjoyed everything I heard, but maybe not really blown away by anything either. But I really like the guitar work here, and especially the guitar tone. It really sounds nice. But not like everything else didn't sound well as well, but yeah, pretty much a good sound overall. And it's a really short album, kind of 35 minutes I think. So yeah, I appreciate short albums when I'm doing this. And the track quality is really well spread out. It starts well, it ends really well. I like the Angry Heart plus In Memory tracks. They have a very nice transition between them and really stick the ending very well there. So in the terms of ranking, I think something like Master, because it really is masterfully done, but I'm not really blown away like I said, so somewhere around here sounds good to me. Yep. And next, released also in January of course, but I don't have a specific date, couldn't find it. We have Heir Apparent with a Graceful Inheritance. And it is a debut album, so very fresh. And it kind of did blow me away unlike the previous one. Really didn't expect so much from it. And it really had really engaging melodies, a lot. I really didn't expect that. But everything sounds and works well. But the production is really nice. You can really hear every instrument in the mix together with the vocals. Really nice. Everything is very clean in the mix. And I do like the vocals and guitars and drums. Everything was nice. This is labeled as United States Power Metal, USPM. And I didn't really enjoy that genre much back in the day, but kind of lately do, and this is another good point for it, I guess. I really enjoyed most of the tracks on the album. It's kind of a longer one at 45 minutes, but if I had to single out two, I'll give you Keeper of the Rain and RIP. Those are really good, but yeah, like I said, most of the tracks are really good as well. And no real weak points that I could find. So, could be, of course, better, but it's still really good. So I think we can go with High Grandmaster. By the way, Master and Grandmaster are usually my favorite rankings. I expect 90% of things I like are kind of here. And I tend to like most things because positive like that. But yeah, really strong album with Graceful Inheritance here, so Grandmaster seems fine. Maybe could imagine getting on the top, and I might sometimes in the future change my mind, but we'll see. For now, Grandmaster seems fine. Next we have another debut album, and another one I don't know the exact date of, but it was in January of course. Tony MacAlpine's Edge of Insanity. And it is a collection of instrumental tracks, good instrumental tracks, but instrumental tracks nonetheless. It's kind of hard to grab me fully with just instrumentals, but they are good instrumentals, but they have to be amazing to really stand on its own for a whole album for me. So yeah, that's the case here for sure. With that said, the Wheel of Fortune and the title track are really nice, but I don't think we can rank it above either Black Sabbath or not at all Heir Apparent. So Expert sounds good to me for this one. Next there is an album that is also a debut and even released exactly on January the 1st, as I found, the Racer X's Street Little. Unlike the previous one, this one didn't really do that much for me, although the track YRO is really nice. It is, of course, kind of mostly pleasant and listenable. I just could like the vocals more, and the guitar tone didn't really do it for me, although the guitar work is really nice. And the songs kind of blend in together for me. I can't really tell most of them apart, other than the instrumentals and the vocal ones. So yeah, I think that's even a step below from the previous one, and I'll give it the Journeyman for now. And then we have a non-debut for once, and I actually don't know when it was released. I know it was recorded in the beginning of the year, but I don't know the exact month. I never found the exact month. Is Ekatarina Velika's Svetrom Uzlice. And it is a Serbian band. Well, nowadays it used to be Yugoslavian, and of course that country doesn't even exist anymore. So a non-English album, not in English, in Serbian of course, or whatever the language that is. It's kind of debatable. So I kind of really found it refreshing to listen to something that isn't English, actually. Which is why I like to include these in this list when you do a ton of English albums. And yeah, I really wish it's easier to find these, and they're kind of more visible. But yeah, it was really refreshing, and on its own it was really pleasant. A bit pop rocky, but it stands on its own. It's very listenable, and then of course the breath of the fresh air made me enjoy it even more. So I think it can fall somewhere around the Black Sabbath, probably behind it, but master rank nonetheless. I think that is good. And highlights, I think I can find three that stand out the most. Budi sam na ulici, Ti si sav moj bol, and Stvaran sve oko mene. Those are really nice. So yeah, good album, master rank. With the next one, we return to the debut albums, but I also don't know anything about the month when it was released, and when I don't know, I usually put it in the months when I have not much going on, and that is usually January. Like you can see here, we have 2 months that I inserted into January, but who knows when they were released. And this one is Siekiera's Nova Alexandria. Siekiera is, of course, a Polish band, and that's also a non-English album, so really refreshing on that level, but also this one has an extra added freshness to it with a really refreshing sound as well. It is pretty much its own animal when compared to everything else we listened to so far. And the distinct sound and atmosphere really hit it off with me. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the title track, and also Czerwony Pejzaż is a really nice outro and really closes the album well. So the question now is it better than the Heir Apparent album? And I think just barely behind it. Still, High Grandmaster may easily get to the top one day, but I think I like the Heir Apparent just a bit more. Just a tiny bit. And that was all our albums we did in this batch. I'm really glad I didn't have to bash anything. I really enjoyed all of these for the most part. So, really happy with how that went. It's hard to know what will happen when you do the list. I try to tend to my likes and dislikes, but you never really know. It can be for sure. Already kind of getting to feel what sound was dominant back in this year, but let's see what happens in the next month. For now, I'm really pleased how it went. Next to our soul film this month, it's Pretty in Pink. It's a teen romance, of course, and right away you're thrown into the teenage drama, of course, which can be hard to get through, but luckily here you very quickly get to see two wonderful characters that I found absolutely lovely, Iona and Ducky. I just love everything about them, their development, their casting. It's really cool characters and pretty much immediately impactful when you see them. But here we have some kind of a modern Cinderella take. The only problem with that here is that the Andrew McCarthy, who plays the prince character, just doesn't do it well for me at all. So the whole scheme of the modern Cinderella is kind of unsatisfying as a result. But still, some really nice characters here, like of before mentioned, and it's really fun to see John Cryer and Spader in these very young roles, as opposed to what they do later in their careers. So it's overall a nice romance for one watch, with plenty of fun characters in the mix. But the whole modern Cinderella take with people who have money versus people who are broke, it's kind of a bit on the nose for me, so I wish that wouldn't include there. But yeah, an alright watch, and I think we can place it together with the album that's their Tony MacAlpine album. I mean, they're kind of similarly enjoyable, so not a bad film for start. Let's see what the next ones hold. And finally, we have our only TV show this month, Cheers, which was at this time, this month, in its season 4, and we did episodes from 13 to 16. And it really has an impactful opening theme. I was really sent back into the times when I was running on TV here, much later than this year, but still kind of nostalgic about it, even though it was like 10 to 15 years later. These days, I'm really barely ever exposed to sitcoms. I don't really know what modern sitcoms we have going on in 2024. So it's kind of difficult to get into actually episode. It's kind of stiff to me. But then the Frasier character appears in the show for the first time. When in these episodes at least. I'm sure he appears before. And I really like that spin-off, the whole Frasier spin-off that came out of the Cheers TV show. So I was really happy to see it, and that was a whole new level for me. But yeah, it's kind of hard to get into the sitcoms just like that. But yeah, still fun and got a few laughs out of me. But it's just culturally so different. You see characters that are supposed to be like these losers we should laugh at, while they have a full-time job, a sorted housing situation, and all this time to spend in a bar. So it's kind of hard to see them as losers, since they're doing pretty well in terms of 2024. But yeah, I kind of feel like Journeyman is enough. It's enjoyable, it's certainly watchable, but really nothing spectacular. So that is pretty much our first round and month done. So this is how our loop will look, basically. I'll see what I can tweak further from month to month, though I really don't want to do way too much to increase the workload too quickly. But I'm really open to any format suggestions. If you have any February suggestions, I'm open for those as well. I should get on that, on the picking the February things tomorrow. Maybe we can release the video tomorrow. So yeah, this is how it will work. and I'll see you in the February picking video. Bye bye.